Hi guys, welcome back to LogTechie Smartphone Beginner to Pro Web Design Series. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Alright, welcome back guys. Okay, in this tutorial we're going to look at background and border, and already I have my file name saved as background.html and I have my CSS saved here as well with an empty code, and in my HTML I have only the fundamental tags and I have my CSS file linked up here. Okay, let's go and start. Alright, to do this, let's get a div, and I'm going to get a div with a text inside the div. So now that I have the paragraph tag, when we have previewed it, we see how it is. I would like to have another div. Let me just copy this same div down. Alright, here we are having two div, and I would like to use this. I will give one a background and I'll change the text color, and I will give the other one just a border. Let's see how that works. Back, and I have my CSS link already. So all I have to do is to give this class an ID. Is to give this div a class or an ID, and I'm going to go with class, please. Yeah, I'll call this boss1, and for the second one I'm going to call it boss2, so it to have a class of boss2. Okay, let's go to our style.css, and all right, here we're going to start with boss1. For this boss1, I'm going to change the background. If you want to change the background color of any div, all you have to do is to type background, then semicolon, then a colon, then you give the color that you want it to take as a background. For background color, we can use either background or background hyphen color. Let me go with background first. Okay, we can see background, and let's say I want to change the color to yellow, or let me make it of orange. Okay, then you must remember to end it to semicolon. Let's go back to our HTML file and open it. As you can see, this now have a background of orange. Okay, this is how you can select a background, and in other way you can use something like background color. Okay, if you want to use background color, let me apply that to this second box, then we'll use another box for our border. If you want to get a background color without typing background, you can also say something like background color. We have boss2 there, so I'll say boss2. Open the parentheses, and here we can say something like background color, and you can define your color in here. You can say something like green. Close it with a semicolon, then go back to your HTML file and preview, and it's going to have a green background. All right, so yeah, before I move, and it's going to give us that, and there you can see how it is. The first one is in orange background and the other one is in green background. I will make use of these tags. I will make use of this div. Let's see, we have seen how to change a background. Let's look at how to give our element a border. Okay, for the first one there, you can see that it's in orange. There's no any outline on it. Okay, if we want to have an outline, we can give it a border. All we have to do is to go back, and then we can go back to our style.css. In our style.css here, I want to give it to the first one there, which is boss1. So after the background color, we can define something like border for it by saying border and colon. Here we can define our border. Okay, you define your border first using the width of the border. Okay, so I want it to have 5 pixel of width, so 5 pixel, and here we'll define our color. I want to have a color of red, and I want the red to be a solid one, so we'll say red solid. So 5 pixel red solid. Okay, once you close it and go back to your CSS, to HTML file and preview, you can see that we now have this with a border of red. Okay, the numbers of pixels that are defined for it was 4 and it was 5, and that is why I say that is very thick. You can define something lesser than that. If you don't want it to be that thick, we can decide to change it to something like 2 pixels. And if you go back and preview it, you see that it's now very light. Okay, and in the same way, we can apply border to a specific area. All you have to do is to identify where you want to apply the border to. I'll do that to box 2. Let's go back to our CSS file, and here after the background color for box 2, I'm going to give it a defined border. Now I want the border to be applicable to the top only, so I can say border hyphen top, then colon, we can give the border. Okay, I want this border to be 2 pixels, and I want it to be yellow solid. Now close the style with your semicolon. Go back to your HTML and preview it, and as you can see there, we have a background color of, we have a border of yellow to the top, but since this div are kind of being connected to each other, you can see that there's no more space there, and we're going to look at margin very soon. So let's use it here. We can use something like margin to separate it. Just go to your style. I want it to come before that, so we can define a margin top for it. In our box 2, we can say something like margin top. So margin hyphen top, and I can see something like 5 pixels. Yeah, you can see now it has been separated, and you can see the yellow at the head there. You can see it very well. We have the yellow border at the top of this div. Okay, that is for background and border. Catch you up in the next class.